I just watched Star Wars Tales of the Jedi. It's a six-part anthology series and each episode focuses on different part of characters' lives. The main focus of this series are two characters, Ashoka Tano and Count Dooku. I find this pairing really interesting because Ashoka is the Padawan of Count Dooku's Padawan, Anakin Skywalker. Like I said, it has 6 episodes and each episode ranges from 10 to 17 minutes. So you can watch all episodes within 1.5 hours. Each episode will keep you engaged. Star Wars Tales of the Jedi is a combination of amazing animation work, solid voice acting performances, and compelling storylines. The first episode focuses on Baby Ashoka, and I gotta say, Baby Yoda has a worthy opponent now in the Star Wars universe. Episode 2 to 4 focuses on Count Dooku, and episode 5 and 6 goes back to focus on Ashoka. While I liked all the episodes, but I especially enjoyed the Count Dooku episodes because I think Count Dooku is such an interesting yet underrated character. This was basically a character study of Count Dooku and it showed his fall to the dark side, and as you watch it you realize his fall was similar to Anakin's. He wasn't taken serious, his warnings are ignored, others are becoming more successful than him, and his gifts and talents are not given the respect it deserves. And the biggest reason, he realizes how the Council of Jedi isn't as righteous as most consider it to be. Their decisions are influenced by what the Senate wants them to do, and all this is brilliantly showed throughout this series in multiple episodes. Also, it was interesting to see the dynamics between Count Dooku and other Jedi's, like Mace Windu, Yaddle, and his Padawan Qui-Gon Jinn. My personal favorite episode was episode 4, titled The Sith Lord. It's just 16 minutes, yet you will feel so many emotions in those 16 minutes. You start to almost feel bad for Count Dooku in his later years as Jedi. It just shows how well made and well written this show was. Like one expression from the character explains the whole situation, explains what's going on in their head. Same goes for Ashoka. Watching her episodes made us better understand her character, knowing her past, her trainings, her friendship with Anakin and Padme. Also, this has made me really excited for Ashoka's own series. Can't wait to see how her story continues. Anyways, despite the main focus of the show being on Ashoka and Dooku, other characters had rare moments too. We saw Mace Windu before he was presented with the Council seat. Yaddle shines as the only Jedi who actually tried to help Count Dooku. And we got to see Anakin being the teacher to Ashoka, and it was nice to see this side of Anakin again. You can tell he wanted to train her to survive and be the best. There's a moment where Obi-Wan makes a joke about Anakin being late, and later on Anakin does the same with Ashoka.
You're right on time.
Oh, really? I thought I was late.
That's what I meant.
You're right on time.
I thought I was late.
That's what I mean.
While this is a small moment, but I think it shows how Anakin wanted to be to Ashoka what Obi-Wan was to him, while still having his own twist to it. He's Anakin Skywalker after all. But yeah, Anakin considered Obi-Wan his brother and his only well-wisher in the council, and he wanted to be like him. And small details like this makes the lore of Star Wars even stronger and better. Maybe it was just supposed to be a joke and I'm looking too much into it, but writer says the story and then it's on viewers how they receive it, and I will receive it this way. I just wanted to share it with you guys. I mean, it explains even more why Anakin turned on Obi-Wan in the end. He considered him a brother, but when Anakin was disrespected in front of the council, Obi-Wan did nothing. He didn't stood up for him, he didn't offer sympathies, and became same as the rest of the council in Anakin's eyes. At least that's what my theory is, but I will stop leaning so much into it and get back to the Tales of the Jedi. The voice acting performances in this series were fantastic. One of the reasons why it worked. First of all, I want you all to stop whatever you're doing and clap for Cory Burton. His work as Count Dooku was just. His voice was intimidating, yet it also had the sadness of a person on the verge of losing his faith. Ashley Eckstein's voice as Ashoka was perfect, just like Cory. She nailed every scene she was part of, and she voiced different phases of Ashoka's life brilliantly. Bryce Dallas Howard voiced Yaddle, and I don't know if she has done voice acting before, but she was good in this. I know some fans were upset because she didn't talk like Yoda, but it's not her fault. Matt Lanter voiced Anakin and James Arnold Taylor voiced Obi-Wan Kenobi. At first it felt weird because I'm used to hearing Hayden Christensen's and Ewan McGregor's voice, but I got used to it pretty quickly. TC Carson played Mace Windu and he was really good. It's tough to be good with the character only associated with Samuel L. Jackson, so props to him. Michael Richardson played young Qui-Gon, and just like T.C. Carson, he managed to be good with the character associated with Liam Neeson. Clancy Brown played a character too, but I won't reveal who he voiced. I want you to watch it for yourself, but he was badass, even in his small part. To voice the older Qui-Gon Jinn, Liam Neeson returned, and so did legendary Ian McDermott. It was so nice to see them return to voice their respective creators. This is the second time this year Liam Neeson has been part of a Star Wars show, and he's just outstanding. And do I even have to say anything about the great Ian McDermott? He is Darth Sidious. I am so glad he returned. His voice as Darth Sidious still have that manipulated evilness that anyone will listen to. Also, there's a scene when Darth Sidious thinks he's betrayed, and he says this.
So I have been betrayed.
And I kinda laughed at that. Does he say everything he thinks is happening to him out loud? So, my car has broken down. So, I am getting hungry. So, I am the Senate. But jokes aside, I am just glad that they are still interested in Star Wars franchise and they returned for this. The very best thing about this show is its animation. In some scenes, I paused just to appreciate how beautiful the animation of this scene was. I don't know how long it took them to animate this show, but I hope the animators got appreciated for their outstanding work. From the characters' designs to the action scenes, everything was animated so perfectly. Their work made this series 10 times better than it already was. Color grading, the movements, the smoothness, everything was just perfect to the last detail. It made the series easy on the eye. Lucasfilm Animation, props to you and your hard work. Another thing that I loved in this series was the background score of each episode, especially episode 4. It was really beautiful and made the experience even better. I loved this series, and my only criticism is that the ending could have been better. I was confused watching the last episode's ending because in Obi-Wan Kenobi series, they showed how rusty and out of touch Obi-Wan is now that he has not used his powers in long time. But in the last episode of the series, our character says something that indicates a long time has passed since Order 66. They didn't reveal how much exactly, and they also didn't reveal if Ashoka still practiced or not. But she used Force just fine, and eventually she has to fight someone, and she speedruns the whole fight. So that was a bit weird and confusing to me. But that's the only criticism I have. Overall, I love this series. It's been a good year for Star Wars fans. First Obi-Wan Kenobi, then Ender, and now this. By the way, my review for the rest of the episodes of Ender will be up soon. I'm working on another video right now, so probably after that. Keep an eye out for that, and go watch Tales of the Jedi. You won't regret it. Anyway, so so my rambling has come to an end. If you liked the video, press the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you have already watched Star Wars Tales of the Jedi, comment below your thoughts. Also, which other character story would you like to see next? I would love to see a similar show but on Siths. Tales of the Sith focused on maybe General Grievous or Darth Maul, or best of all, Darth Jar Jar Binks. So I'm waiting for it. Anyways, that's the end of the video. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.